talking about in eventually coming to connect with nature and realizing that, you know, we're all one big family. And I just wanted to know, what is your opinion on the role that community plays in becoming closer to nature and to Mother Earth?
You're asking the question, that question, the role that community plays?
Exactly.
I mean, it is ultimately about community and building and reimagining communities. I mean, that's constant in some sense. And it's a testimony to the human experience. You know, it's something that happened. It's a very interesting phenomenon. There's a writer named Jeremy Rifkin. He wrote a book called The End of Work. And he wrote this about 20 years ago. And he mentioned in one chapter when he talked about labor and work in African Americans, and he said that African Americans were not free from the land by the Emancipation Proclamation, which is this year is 150 years ago. They were free because of the invention of the cotton picking machine. Now that sounds kind of preposterous, but in 1944, 100% of the cotton was picked by hand. By 1969, 100% of the cotton was picked by a machine. More than 5 million African Americans left the South, came north, and had settled in the projects and all the other places that we refer to as ghettos and inner cities and everything else. And when they came, they created another community amongst the concrete. And the beauty of the human spirit is that at some point they reimagine themselves and recreate themselves. I've been spending a great deal of time over the last decade off and on in Detroit. And in Detroit, the home of modern industry, modern industry, the first highways, cars, automobiles, Detroit. One of the biggest movements around urban gardening, community gardening in this country is happening in Detroit. People from around the world come to Detroit to look at the kind of work that they be doing around urban gardening. And the ideas around education, ideas around place-based education, new imaginative ways of looking at education, and often different ways of looking at community and the responsibility that small entrepreneurs and businesses have to the community. All those are coming out of a factory town. Now, what impact that has, ultimately, is just a small template, a small example in a vast sea. But what are the possibilities that grow from that and reimagining in our relationship to nature, even amongst the concrete, is pretty profound. And I think on the one hand, if we're going to service who we can be and as human beings and how we recreate our relationship to each other and who we are in the world, then it's going to have to be in some way where we're going to have to sit down, take pause, and begin to think of ways in which we nourish the sensibilities in our heart and our soul, used by the great, probably for me, one of the greatest man of the 20th century, Martin Luther King Jr., you know, creating the beloved community.